to do another review of the Thundercats Classics from Bandai. Just did Lino, so go and check that out if you haven't already. And the other one that's been released, and the only one that's going to be released in a public fashion out of the 8-inch line is Tygra. Very disappointed to hear they're cutting this line, because as I said in my Lino video, I love the scale. I could get into another rant about people moaning about things, but if you want to hear that, go and check out Lionel. I'm not going to do it again. Just to give you an idea of scale, because everyone cares apparently, there he is with He-Man, there he is with DC Universe, and there he is with the new Lionel. Well, let me get Tygra. You can see him with Tygra. Tygra's tiny! So yeah. Another brilliant figure. I love these Thundercats figures. I always loved them as growing up, but they're just amazing. I love having these figures now, all nicely detailed and looking like I thought they did in the cartoon. Tygra's face, when I first got it, I kind of thought it was a bit weird, but now I've had it and I've played around with it a bit more, I do quite like it. I think his face could have been a bit wider and a bit less hair, and that would have sorted out the weirdness that he kind of has. But other than that, it's a brilliant figure. But the lack of articulation here doesn't bother me. I don't use it on the Lino figure. I don't think it really affects him, because you can get enough of a pose so you can have him hunched over a bit more, and you know, then he's got a straight back when you have him going forward, and he looks all right. I don't see a problem with it. It twists side to side, up and down. The articulation on these guys is really good. So you've got the head there. Got a ball joint on the head, so you can get up and down and left to right, and you can get the tilt going on. 360 on the biceps, up and down. Sorry, 360 on the shoulders and a 360 on the biceps. You got the elbow joint there, not hindered by any muscle sculpting, so you can get a nice range of movement. And you got the hands and that there. I like the fact that the sculpted features that weren't really painted on the original they've kept, so you've got the one arm there and you've got the blue swooping down here. It's nice. And you've got the one shoulder pad and the one bracelet-y type thing. On the legs, up and down, in and out, double knee joint. We get some really good poses out of these guys. And then the foot, you've got one on the boot, which I didn't mention on Lino, but he has it as well, and a good movement there on the foot. The posability, articulation on these guys is really good. It's almost up there with Marvel Legends articulation. I really like it. And then you get a load of accessories as well. He does come with another hand. I'm not going to put it on because it's a bit tricky to put it on, and I'll probably end up dropping my camera. But it's an open hand, probably not a hand you're going to use very much, because you'll probably want him displayed with his whip. But it's an open hand. I think it's the same as Lino's hand. Like, the hands are the same size. Let me see. Yeah, the hands are exactly the same, but Lino's is a bit yellow, a bit more yellow, which I would imagine is why they chucked in Tygra's open hand, just because they had it and they thought, why not? Which is good, you know. They could have been stingy and saved on plastic, but they had the mould for it, so they did it anyway, which is nice. Accessories, he comes with his bolo whip. And I'm sure you have seen reviews of this already, but the whip's quite good. It's quite soft, so when you pose it, it will kind of flop on itself, but that kind of helps. If you know it's going to happen, you can know, how it's going to look. It's got some articulation there, so you can get it in whatever pose you want, and it comes apart. And then you've got the unopened whip, which looks really nice. But the good thing about it is, like I said, I'm sure you've seen this already, you can put that there, stick that on there, so you can have it looking like he's just whipping it out. And again, on there, just whipping it out, but the things will come open. But most likely you're going to display it like this, because it looks more action-packed. Like I say, Tygra's face, I'll give you a bit of a close-up. I don't see much of a problem with it. It's got some it's nicely done. The quality control on these guys seems to be really good. The paint apps don't bleed, and it looks really nice all over. they have been very careful with this. So I guess for them, they're hoping it's going to be like Mattel's Masters of the Universe line, which is a huge seller, and all the adults are into it. And I love it. If they had been carried on doing the 8-inch line, everybody would have bought it. Just because a couple of people are moaning, everyone would still have bought it. The people that moan about it would still have bought it. So they didn't need to bring out this new line. I don't know whether they did it because people were moaning, or if they did it because they decided that Mum-Ra was going to be too big and too expensive. With the Thundercats being 8 inches, Mum-Ra would have to have been at least 10 inches. At least 10 inches. And maybe they just thought he was too expensive and people wouldn't go for it, because a 6-inch Mum-Ra is what's coming out next. So perhaps that's why they did it. Who knows? I guess we'll never know the truth. But these guys look absolutely brilliant when they're posed. If you can get a couple of flight stands and get Tygra up in the air with his whip, you know, you can get some really, really good poses with these. I absolutely love them. I know that they said they're going to bring out Chitara in an exclusive form, which I would imagine means in America only, at some San Diego Comic Con, which I can't get to, so I'll end up paying huge amounts of money for it. But I hope they bring it out, and I hope they bring out at least all the Thundercats. You know, these two, Chitara, Panthro, and Wily Kit and Wily Cat. And I really want a Snarf. You know, it would be nice if they brought out a 3-pack of Kit, Cat, and Snarf with a few less accessories, because they only need, I mean, they could have all their other bits, but if they just had them with their boards and Snarf, I'd be happy. I really, really would. So fingers crossed, let's hope that happens. But if not, and it's only going to be the 6-inch line, I'd still say go out and pick these guys up, because they look really good. You know, I think they're worth getting, even if you can only get these two. I love the size, I love the scale, and the paint apps and everything, they are just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's my little review of these guys. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.